So now we have a finished form that we can get ready for the students. First, let's take a look at the settings, which is the little gear up here. You're going to go to settings and you're going to click through all three of these categories and make sure that this is organized the way you want it to. You will want to make sure that you are collecting email addresses in case a child forgets to put their name on their paper or anything like that. You want to restrict the users to OMSD, and usually you want to limit it to one response. That's up to you. You may decide whether or not you want them to edit after they submit. Again, that is totally up to you, and whether or not you want to use these charts and text. Next is presentation. Generally, if you have a longer test, you want to show the progress bar so they know if they're halfway done, a third of the way done. You might want to make sure that you shuffle the question order. Those things are all things that help the students know what's going on. I also put a confirmation message, which is, Ms. Westbrook has your test. So that way the students have some information about whether or not I got it, and they are usually a little anxious if they don't get some sort of notice that we have it. The third category is on the quiz itself. You can make it a quiz or not make it a quiz. The problem is with not making it a quiz, it probably won't assign any type of points and it won't do auto grading for you. So you probably want to make it a quiz. That's why I generally use this one as opposed to the exit tickets and the worksheets and things like that. Now, you can release the grade either immediately after the submission or later after you've looked at it yourself. If it is only multiple choice questions, you can go ahead and release it immediately. But as I recall, our form has an essay question on it, so probably you'll want to wait until after you respond to that. You may let them look at missed questions, correct answers, and so on, but please don't do that if you're using a department test, or if you don't want them to share those things before people who were absent take the quiz. So that's something to keep in mind yourselves. So after I have checked all of those categories, I will then go to save, and I'm good. The next thing I do to help the kids identify what assignment we're talking about is I will add an image at the top so that they understand which question this is. So I can go to sports. I can pick any of these I wanted. Somehow I don't think ballet really does it for most of the kids since we were talking about other kinds of sports. So I think I'm going to go ahead and load an image. I can go to upload. I can go to Google search then, and you can select a photo from here. I already had one prepped for us. I'll go ahead and tell it save image. I usually save in the downloads, which can be deleted later. And the thing you want is a little box at the bottom from this. Then I click back into forms. That little box is still there. I take that little box and I load it up into here. Now, you want to make sure that the picture fills into these corners. If it doesn't, then it's too small and it's not going to work and you're probably going to get an error message. So go ahead and make sure that this fills out that space. Adjust it if you want, like I'm trying to make sure I get as many different types of sports equipment in here as I can. It's a little tricky, but we're going to try. And then we have an appropriate picture for this particular assignment. Also, I'm going to change the color so that it contrasts just a little bit more than the yellow, perhaps. I think that's a pretty good color right there. And now I have an assignment that the kids should be able to find. You can upload it to Google Classroom, and you'll be ready to have a little bit of help grading your papers. Till next time.